main job with the Latin macrons puzzle is to work out just what those long vowels indicate, or what linguistic function they perform. But before we look at those long vowels, let's look at some of these endings. Latin is a language which relies very much on endings to give meanings. So if we look, for instance, at that ending mus, the mus of fugimus, emimus, advenimus, and so forth, we'll find that it matches the sentences on the right, or rather the expressions on the right, with we in them. So that's something we can jot down. Also with the ending t, as in venit, or fugit, or legit, we can see that that matches where there's a she as the subject. Okay, so now we move to this ending I, just the single I. Now in a couple of cases, emi and reweni, that means I in English. I bought and I returned. But in a couple of other cases, in weni and adweni, it means an order, come or arrive. So here we have the first case where there's a difference in meaning between the short vowel and the long vowel. Because, as we see, emi and reweni, with that macron over the vowel, is where it's I and then a past tense, I bought or I returned. But when it's just weni and adweni, with no macron over that vowel, then it's an order. Okay, now let's stay on that past tense for a moment. If we look at all the cases where there's a long vowel, we'll find that they match cases over on the right where there is a past tense. Okay, so now we have our basic structure. If you have the ending mus, it means we. The ending t means she. And if it has the long vowel in those cases, then it will be past tense. Otherwise, it'll be present tense, as in we buy, or she reads, or she runs away. And then if the ending is e, it means I bought or I returned, if it's a long vowel, but come or arrive, an order, in other words, if it's a short vowel. Okay, so let's look at the puzzle bits. Emit. This has got the long vowel, the macron as it's called, over the vowel, and it ends in t. So it'll be a past tense, and the t means it's a she, so she bought. Revenimus. This time there's no long vowel, and there's mus on the end, so it's going to be a we. So that will be we return. We saw that that verb rewen meant return. Now we've got emit, but this time with a short vowel instead of a long vowel, so this time it's just going to mean not she bought, but present tense, she buys. Legi, there, you've got a long vowel. And it's a long vowel with an I on the end. So this one means I, past tense. We saw that legit was she reads, so this one will be I read. And just to make it clear there, I've said pronounced read rather than read. Okay, she arrived. So we saw that adven, A-D-V-E-N, these in Latin are pronounced as a W, by the way, which is why I'm doing that. That was the stem that meant arrive. And it's she arrived, past tense. So it is advenit, and we have the T on the end because it's she. Advenit. Return. As we saw in the second one up above, the stem of that verb is rewen, R-E-V-E-N, but this time it's an order. So it's not going to be a long vowel, it'll be a short vowel, but it'll be that E ending, reweni. We run away, present tense, not past tense, so it'll be mus for the we, and a short vowel rather than a long vowel. So we saw that that verb run away was fug, so fugimus. And finally, she read. We can tell that that's read rather than read because she read doesn't make sense. So that will be that same verb leg, but because it's past tense, it'll be a long vowel, leg, and because of the she, there'll be a T on the end. So legit.